We got time, but no money. But there ain't nobody stopping us. We got bills, but no dollars. But now we don't really give up. No, we don't really give up. Living for that ray of light. Life can be beautiful. Life can be beautiful. Going all the way tonight, making it beautiful. Acting like there's no tomorrow. Acting like there's no tomorrow. Acting like there's no tomorrow. Acting like this. Acting like this. Acting like there's no tomorrow. Acting like there's no tomorrow. Acting like this. Acting like this.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're doing fantastic today. Let me just slide this down here just a little bit. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. Thank you guys for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I am your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at cryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today on this May 30th, 2019. Foul year of our Lord. Good to see all of you guys in the chat. Hopefully you guys are doing really, really good today. And I just want to take this moment in time, guys, to make this public service announcement brought live to you today by, well, I guess by the entire Kraken cryptocurrency community. And that announcement is...
It's over 9,000! It's over 9,000! It's over 9,000! It's over 9,000! It's over 9,000!
All right, so yes, not at the current moment in time. No, not at the current moment in time, but just a little bit ago, we were, yes, over 9,000. The moment we've all been waiting for, guys. The moment we've all been waiting for. So, very exciting times, and we're going to see what's going to happen. I know naturally what a lot of people are going to think. And there are going to be traders who might potentially profit off of anything to the downside, off of liquidity grabs, or who may be short sold at the top of that wick because it was a pretty nice pop up there to 9,000. Obviously, if we look over here at and we'll look at this when we get to the charts here in just a moment, we did reach a high of 90.96 on the Bitstamp chart, obviously a little higher on the BitMexico chart, up to 91.11, and now currently trading at around, let's see here, 85.90 on the BitMEX chart as well, and down to 85.80. So that's about a $500 move to the upside, move to the downside. Now we have to remember that those percentages don't become as impressive, those $500 movements become a little bit less impressive when we look at the actual percentages of what that move is relative to the price of Bitcoin, but a profitable move and a nice move nonetheless. Now, as I said yesterday, and this wasn't actually a signal that I posted last night for the premium members because I generally only focus on PTP trades. I want them to be taking PTP trades and going through the coursework quite nicely. I did end up taking an 8-hour XBT-USD position last night. Trailing stop loss got hit on that moving to the upside, hit 2 of my 3 take profits on the 8-hour chart. You guys can go double check that out with Quadrigo, see absolutely what my profit targets would have been. It was a decent little trade, caught it up to the upside, and my trailing stop hit when it came down to the downside. So anyways, I digress. And now price is pulling back, currently trading around 85.46 and moving to the downside. Is this something that I'm going to be shorting? Absolutely not. No, I don't short things when they are above the baseline. I am a momentum trend following trader that relies on his system and his strategy to tell me to sell. The only thing that I was told to do last night was to go long on the 8-hour time frame, just as I talked about yesterday, and that trade executed successfully. So there's nothing for me to do. Went heavily into a lot of other positions last night as well, and we'll be updating those as we do in the evening during our time to trade and time to manage positions. So nothing to do right now except for watch everything happen. Let's see here. Let me go double check something that just happened. All right. Anyways, moving right along. Moving right along. Okay. Let's head over to the charts and let's actually break this down a little bit. Cool. Exciting moment, exciting time in life, man. Internet Cafe says, why am I not seeing anything about 9K on TradeViewer, etc.? I don't know. All you got to do is hover over the current candle and you can see that the high of this candle was 90.96. 9,000. Greetings from Rio. Good to see you. And down on this candle, we can see it was 85.89. All right, let's slide on over here. Tensor Charts is super red. I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it at this point in time. We just had a ton of longs liquidated on that position right there. Coming over here to Tensor Charts, we had a lot of shorts liquidated to the upside, but mostly liquidated longs to the downside and more longs liquidated here attempting to buy the dip. So is this anything that I'm going to take any position on or take any action on? No, there's no need to. This is not how I trade. It has nothing to do with anything that I'm going to do. So we'll just check in the evening and see what trades need to be updated. In the meantime, let's go over here to the daily and let's go look at price. So we'll go ahead and hide drawing tools for a moment and let's get this set up briefly. Guys, remember that starting not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, we're going to be utilizing Minx not only as my primary indicator, but also as the indicator that we're going to be showcasing on the stream as well. So let's bring the tunes back. And you guys let me know if they're too loud. You guys let me know if they're too loud or too soft, but I do just want a little bit of filler music in the background because I do quite like that. All right, moving right along. All right, so here we are on the Bitstamp chart. Price did reach a high of 90.96, and let's take a look at what everything is indicating. As I said yesterday, looking at the XBT chart, one of the updates that I posted last night, and let me take this brief moment in time also to thank Jerome Jansen, Evgeny, Dirk Gorder, Andrew Wade, Nathan Simpson, Tuj Keen, 8, and Dio Brando. Thank you guys so much for the subscriptions on YouTube, guys. Welcome to the community. So as I said yesterday, one thing that we did want to be on the alert for on the daily close yesterday was the cross under or the early exit signal from time transformation itself. We didn't get that. In fact, we got the 8-hour confirming the trade to the upside, which is the trade that I took the trade to the upside. And now what do we see from time transformation? Time transformation is hurling down. And if it closes like this, what does that mean? Oh, wait. That is not a signal to do anything. That is only a signal to exit any position that you would have put on, because this would have told you to put on a position on the 23rd of May, just as we talked about. We took the long trade on the 23rd of, the signal was on the 23rd of May. As you guys know, we took the trade on the 24th of May. We were a day late and $1 short. However, we caught all of this movement to the upside. And this is what is so difficult and why we do things so really uniquely different around here from just about everybody in the cryptocurrency space. As far as people that I know who trade cryptocurrency, we are trend followers. We trade momentum. If price is bullish, we trade bullish. Most people are obsessed with trading reversals and catching wicks and this and that and that and the other. Things like this don't excite me. Big wicks to the upside and taking shorts to the downside, that does not excite me. That is for bots. That is for people who, again, I used to trade that way and I'm very proficient in trading that way. However, there's no need to. There's no need to. I maintain just as much profitability, in fact, a higher profitability, because my drawdown is reduced, my loss rate is reduced, my hit rate is higher, and over time, my consistent gains, both in BTC and USD, are consistently higher, utilizing an if this then that strategy based upon pathways to profit, PTP methodology. So anyways, I digress with that. So not a whole lot to talk about this particular candle, just insofar as what it is signaling us moving forward into the future. If TT crosses and closes like this on the close of the daily candle, that will be an early exit signal. So if you are in a long position at the end of today's candle, if it closes like this, you will want to be exiting your long position. That's all it means. Take your profit. Go ahead. Because this would have gotten you in, and it got us in, as you guys will recall, at 79.97 was actually the trade that I took. The price that we put down is 8064.64 because that was the close of the daily candle when the signal was generated, which we typically enter upon. But between the time that it took, just me personally, my average entry was 79.97 because of the slight pullback that price did immediately upon the close of the candle on the 24th. So the open of the 25th candle, price actually immediately started pulling down, and I got into my position then at 79.97 and then caught the trade to the upside. So put on another position. As I said, that was a day that when after that large candle happened, after this large bullish, not an unshaven candle, but after that large bull candle, the day after that was a day that I didn't do the stream because I had to take my father to some appointments down in the big city. So I wasn't here for the stream and I wasn't able to actively trade that day. Although I did make it in time to do the daily scan, didn't put on any new positions that evening, but I just updated positions that I was already holding. Now, let's see here. Now, so that's why I was looking for the other long trade to the upside. I know a lot of the guys in the group just took the long trade when they were supposed to, when the signal was posted. And it's not, they don't even need the signal. They have the system in their hands. They understand how it works and they're actively trading this. Took the trade to the upside. And then this will be their final, or their first really, exit signal, except for their take profits hitting. So let's actually go take a look at Quadriga, because I do have to refresh my memory and see what the price targets would have been when we took the trade. So let's see, it would have been right here. So 85.73 and 90.80. So 2 of 3 take profits actually got hit on that long trade to the upside. So we'll just calculate from the close of the candle up to, what was it? What did I say? This candle right here, 90.82. About 12.8% profit, all right? Give or take a little bit. So 12.8 profit potential on that last trade that we took to the upside. My personal trade was take profit 1 on the first position, and then my trailing stop loss got hit. And then my last position that I put on last night hit 2 of 3 take profits as well. So good gain all the way around. This is absolutely nothing that I would be in any way slightly closely interested, even in the slightest tinge, to short or to do anything in this position in this moment in time. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. I was in a long trade. I hit 2 of my 3 take profits. My trailing stop loss got hit. There's nothing, absolutely nothing to do. And I was taking an LTF trade, which I already generally do discretionary position sizing on anyway. So I'm sorry, guys. This is really, again, there are things to do. There are things to do if that is within your nature, if that is within your strategy. But the way that we do things here, nothing to do. Nothing to do except enjoy the profit and wait for the next signal. Now, what I do get excited about is because price has closed and crossed under it. Well, it hasn't yet, but it will most likely potentially if the candle closes like that. That means, what can we get? another continuation signal, meaning we're going to be able to take another trade to the upside should the system give us the go-ahead. And that would be yet another potentially successful long trade to take to the upside in this very bullish market. So just remember, guys, could this be the top? Could this be the turning point? Could this be the beginning of the pullback? Absolutely. Does it really matter? Fuck no, doesn't matter, because when price goes bearish, you will know, or your strategy will tell you, and then at that point in time, you will take the short trade. You don't predict the market and assume this is the moment, right? And end up at washout lane like 90 to 90% of the rest of the traders who try to trade reversals and who try to predict the market. Just trade the direction that the market is predominantly moving in, be on the right side of the trade, and good things happen. I never know when I enter into a position if price is going to go up 2% or 12% or 50%, or as with PHB, price ran up 99%. Actually, PHB ran up higher than 99%, but my trailing stop loss got hit at an overall P&L of 99%. That put a massive chunk onto my capital. On the PHB trade, I actually increased my overall capital by 6% on one trade, increased my overall capital by 6% on PHB with proper position sizing and just being on the right side of the market. And you guys will remember that with PHB, we had initially taken that trade in PHX, and then, unbeknownst to me, trading got suspended, right? So I knew that the exact next day. Why? Because I loaded it up and boom, I couldn't do anything. I was stuck in the trade. And did I feel uncomfortable? Yeah, sure, because anything could happen. I could get a big fuck you candle to the downside the next day that I wake up. But that didn't happen. Not just because, you can call it whatever you want. On PHB, you could say that, hey, you got lucky. That's not really how it works. Yes, we got lucky insofar as price blew the fuck up after we took the trade, but the more important thing is that we were on the right side of the market to begin with. Then we ran into an unforeseen situation where trading was suspended and they rebranded from the Neo chain to the BNB chain, opened up trading on a new pair. They transferred our PHX into PHB, and then PHP just decided, you know what, it's moon mission time. That stuff happens naturally when you are on the right side of the market. So that's why I don't use profit ratios. This is why I don't use things of that nature. I don't want to miss out on the potential profit of a large, strong trend, and why I'm always looking for opportunities to re-enter into a large, strong trend. And the only way you can determine those conditions in the market is if you do your daily scan every day, disciplined every single day. That's the only time I do things, because that is the best time to do things. There's no point to me doing anything else at any other point in time except for working on myself, my life, my strategy. You know what I do during the day? I don't put on new trades. What I do during the day is focus on making my system better with testing and back testing and trying new things and testing settings and back testing and optimizing, so that when it comes down to execution time, which trading is not a creative, when you're trading, when it's your trading window where you're actually executing, you're not thinking. You're only doing what the system you've created has told you to do, because you are not smarter in the moment than your system is statistically over time. So you play the game of odds, you play the game of statistics, and you listen to your system. You do exactly what your system tells you to do. And if you're on the right side of the market with a good system, you will make money. It's very difficult to lose money if you have a good system, good money management, good discipline, you're only executing, you're not trying to predict the market, and you're on the right side of the market. Good things just naturally happen. So anyways, moving right along with this, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the lower time frames and see if we are getting any indications to do anything. 12-hour actually gave you the exit signal here at 1900 hours last night to exit the position on the 12-hour chart. On the 8-hour chart, we can see the trade that I ended up taking right here last night at the daily candle close. Boom, right here. Took this long trade to the upside. And as you can see, TP1 and TP2 hit. Actually, hold on. Okay, so let me look at those values again on this candle. My bad. 89.59, 92.29. So that's, I didn't have my TP2 at 92.29. I had my TP2 at 81.50. I know why, because I was using the LTF. But anyways, regardless, either way, let's just look at this on the 8-hour chart as it would have been. If we look at the 8-hour chart, if you would have taken this by the books, by PTP methodology, your first take profit would have been hit at 89.59. Immediately, your stop loss would have gone to break even, and you would be out of this trade with 50% of your position in profit. Period. Done. Over with. Moving on. Going to the 6-hour chart, we also got that signal to go long here. And taking that signal as well would have given you all the trades to the upside as well. Going to the 4-hour chart, did we get a signal to go long? Yes, we did here. 1 hour rule, you could have taken it here, but you don't really have all the confirmation, so it's probably not something that you would have taken. Let's see here. Negative. Yeah, the only thing that would have got you into this trade is the 6 and the 8-hour time frame. The 8-hour time frame obviously giving you the optimum best results. And that's the time frame that I said I was going to be interested in taking the trade on yesterday, and the trade that I did end up taking. But that's really not the point. The original trade, the best trade, was the trade that everybody in the group should have been in on. And that was the one on the 24th that we took. Again, and even the members who were probably quicker to the gun than I am took the trade on the 23rd when we should have taken the dang trade in the first place, right? But I was a day late and a dollar short in posting the signal and posting the setup, and it was on the 24th of May, and boom, boom, bam. Okay. And then insofar as this, I mean, I don't know what people are going to ask, like, why did this happen or what does this mean? Doesn't mean anything. There was a lot of buying and then there was a lot of selling. Who cares? Moving on. All right, going over to Aetherium. Let's see what Ethereum's going to do. Ethereum putting in some of that nice same price action last night. Actually, Alex, one of the other analysts in the Kraken cryptocurrency group, got everybody into the M19 long last night, and that worked out diamond. So very good trade. Thank you, Alex, for your beautiful setup, man. Let's see here. And are we getting anything from Aetherium? Ethereum is doing nothing at the current point in time. We have no signal, not even an indication to exit your long position, which you would have taken here on this candle close on the 25th of May at 1900. Let's actually see if that would have been a profitable trade so far. And yes, you would have you just would have hit take profit one on that. Let's see here at 287.31 and high of 288.77. So you just would have got your take profit one. And you would be out of this trade right now with your stop loss at break even. So good trade on Ethereum USD as well. Obviously the BitMEX charts are going to be a little different, but I'm going to assume before looking at them that there's not going to be anything different. So keep your eye on the lookout. I'm watching intraday here as our indicator is pinching a little bit. So that typically can be a sign that A, nothing's going to happen, or B, that we're going to cross under. So just watch that real closely at the close of the daily time frame right here. 12-hour did end up crossing over on this candle right here. So looking at your 12-hour entry, which would have gotten you into this trade here, and that would have been an L. So the 12-hour chart didn't really give you anything, except for right here you would have got back in. 12-hour chart, you would have got back in. You would hit your take profit one on the 12-hour as well. And then you got the exit signal. You know what? No, you wouldn't. You would have, that would have been an L as well. Sorry, I apologize. So the 12-hour chart didn't really give you a good setup anyways. 8-hour time frame here. Eight-hour gave you a good trade. 6-hour time frame here. And yeah, you hit your first take profit just a few candles later. So 6-hour did give you a good trade as well. Okay, so sorry, let's look at current price. I want to look at current price because that's what is important at the current point in time. 8-hour crossing under, keeping you out of a 6-hour trade. 6-hour crossing under, 4-hour crossed under. 3-hour crossed under as well. And the hourly actually crossed under on the last hourly. So interesting times, interesting moments. And let's see, intraday. Do we have anything on intraday? Here. We would have gotten into the 30-minute long here, and we would hit take profit one and maybe take profit? I don't think so. 289. Yeah, didn't just hit take profit one on the intraday scalp that we would have gotten right here on this candle. Right here on this candle. Yep, 10 o'clock in the morning. So right before the dump happened, you had an hour-long trade, and boom, boom, bam. Cool. So nothing to do. As we said, looking at the daily time frame, no clear signal to do anything, not even to exit your daily position, which again, you would have taken here on the close of this candle. Except for if you didn't have a stop loss at break even, you would still be in this trade. If you had a stop loss at break even, as you should, you will be out of this trade for those who actively took this position. Okay. All right, let's head over here into this scene right here, and let's take a gander. You know, it's just so funny to watch sentiment, right? So I don't know how many of you guys were paying attention, but before this movement to the upside, look at what longs did. Longs just dropped off the face of the planet, And then what happened? Massive wick to the upside. Massive wick to the upside. And now what does everybody do? Trying to go long. Just get the fuck out of here, man. Sorry, guys. A little bit of extra profanity this morning, but I apologize. I'm having a good morning. Let's see here. All right. Pitbully2K, man, says, thanks, Justin. You really hooked me up last night. Gonna dive into this premium content right after the stream. You are king. No, sir, you are king. Thank you so much, my good friend. And you know what? My brother from Chi-Town, it's been a long time coming, so I'm just so pleased to have you on the squad, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing your progress, man. All right, let's scroll up here a little bit in the YouTube chat. You guys are active today. But Tam, good to see you this morning, brother. Alan Polito. Can we exit spot position too? You can do whatever you like. I will not be exiting my spot position in BTC. I stay in BTC as long as BTC is above the daily baseline. I've been in BTC since April, and if price drops $1,000, doesn't matter. I have the opportunity to make much more profit by patiently waiting for the market to tell me when to exit my spot position. Zach Coma says, caught that quick long with your WADA on the half hour. Used ATR for levels. Caught most of it with a trailing stop. Thank you for your insights, sir. Awesome, Zach. That's what I want to hear, man. Thank you so much, man. Midwest Attempt says, need to make a shirt with Vegeta on it, and above his head it says Bitcoin, and below it says over 9,000. Yeah, man, I love that. I love that, man. Third Eye Trader, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Chris Kirkpatrick says, FOMO'd longed at 9K. Aw, it's all good, man. We've all done that. Remco Lakin says, we are going to drop. The top was 9,100. Yep, I've heard that about 19 times so far in this bull rally. We'll see it when it happens. Bitcoin Millionaire says, it's only over 9,000 for me if it's in euro. Chris said FOMO shorted at 8,500. No, it doesn't have to retrace, man. Price does not have to do anything that you think it has to. Price is going to do what price is going to do. Eve Altcoin Base. Hey, what's going on? Marco Rivera says, so at what time should we short? I'm in at 8K. If it closes at what time frame and under what price? The only thing that would allow me to short at this point in time is if price goes below. Let's go over to the BitMEX chart. Price has to go below 82.10. Price has to go below 82.10 before I'm allowed to short. We have to be in a bearish trend to short the market. When we are in a bullish trend, as denoted by our daily baseline, we do not short. We only go long. Lucas, hey, what's going on? Which EMA we should be using as a baseline? You can use whatever EMA you like. You can use whatever you like as a baseline. You don't even have to use an EMA. What you want to do is test your baseline with the rest of your strategy. The baseline's not where you want to start, but if you don't have a baseline, that you can use the one that I use. And honestly, I think it's the best baseline. I've back tested hundreds of different baselines, but the exponential moving average 13, I think, works the best. There's a very nice balance between filtering out bad trades and getting you into good trades. AK11MK, thank you so much for the $1.11, my good man. The 111, that's like $100 around here, man. Love you, brother. Patrick Needison, thank you so much for subscribing. And Internet Cafe, thank you for the follow on Twitch, brother. Crypto Kitty, good to see you, hon. RK says a cross under means exit. Correct. Steve C, should I buy in? Andrew, thank you, man. I got some new threads the other day. Go for delivery. I have not gone over XRP yet. Marlon Jones, sure. Let's take a look at Loom real quick. Let's take a look at Loom. Nothing to do yet, man. Nothing to do yet. I got Loom yesterday as well. And let's see, actually. Over here. Down 1.5% on Loom right now. So nothing to do. You can see that TT is still above. We haven't crossed under, we haven't closed below the daily baseline, and we haven't hit our stop loss. We didn't hit our take profit yet, but there's nothing to do. This is just a hold open trade and wait. Jonathan Falcher, good to see you, brother. I'm doing great, man. Says, really enjoying chatting in the members lounge, learning all the day. You know, there are, I'm going to just be honest, and I was talking about this earlier with a member. I mean, the quality of the community that we have, the quality of the people that we have in the members lounge is so fantastic. I don't get the time to post in there all the time. But I scroll through there quite often and just see the quality of the conversation that's going on, the quality of the people who are stepping up as mentors and helping to answer questions and ask questions and post and produce unique content. You guys are absolutely amazing. And as I've said many, many times, everybody that's on the team, you guys greatly improve the quality of my life. Internet Cafe says, can you explain what going short versus going long is for us newcomers? Yeah, no problem. So when you, if you're trading on a futures platform, what you're doing is you're speculating on the future price of Bitcoin, right? As it's a little different than just buying the underlying asset. So buying the underlying asset means you go onto an exchange and you actually buy Bitcoin, whether that's for a dollar, you know, you're exchanging a currency, whether that's probably fiat, for Bitcoin. That's the way that most people's journeys goes anyways. And then you would generally take that Bitcoin and buy other altcoins with it in the hope that that altcoin goes up and you make more Bitcoin when you sell the difference. With a futures exchange, you're trading a contract. A contract is a bet on the future or on the future price of Bitcoin. Now that means you can go long, which means that you will make money if price goes up. And you can also short sell, which means you will make money if price goes down. And to do that, that means you are essentially borrowing Bitcoin from somebody else to sell now, right? Which will fill a buyer's market order or resting limit order on the order book. And then you are promising to buy back at a lower price. There's no like contractual obligation or anything like that. That's just how it naturally happens on any good platform, on any good exchange. Eve says, finally someone that does not shout out about gaps to fill. Well, we talk about gaps sometimes, but that's not really part of our big strategy, man. Live Lover Dice BSV is on its way down as it should. Icon, let's take a look. Icon Bitcoin didn't give us anything. There's nothing to do with Icon Bitcoin. ICX USDT, on the other hand, this was a trade that we took. We entered right here on this trade and TP1. TP1 so far, stop loss at break even. The Halfway Show, thank you so much for the 20 North Koreans. North Koreans. Did I just say North Koreans? Norwegian crones, man. Woo! All right, time for a drink of water. Having Show, Meowie, good to see you, brother. Enjoy the crypto ride, friends. Love from Norway, man. Love from America, my good friend. Angie Stone says, I looked at the chat list first. This tells you more about the mentor / trader / owner of the site than the delivery itself. Well, thank you. When all alts are green compared to Bitcoin, it's time to short or take profit, correct? When all alts are green compared to BTC, it's time to short or take profit, correct? No. The time to take profit is when you hit your take profit levels or when the market gives you an indication to exit your position, which PTP does. When all alts are green, that's quite a good thing. Again, I'm a trend follower, right? So I don't try to take trades in the opposite direction of which the market is moving. I try to go in the direction that the market is already currently moving. That my system is confirming to me that there is good potential that it will continue on in that direction. I'm not a counter trend trader. Do I think this is a correction? No, I don't actually have any strong opinion on what this is because it doesn't matter what I think. It has nothing to do with my trading, so I just don't really focus on those things. What this is there was a lot of buying and then a lot of people took profit. That's it. Now, generally, when I see things like that, I get excited for continued movement to the upside because that means we had a pull down, a push up, we got sold into, and there are far more interested buyers than sellers right now at this current point in time. Hey man, what do I think? Where will Bitcoin go? I have no clue, man. I do no price predictions. I am humble enough to realize that I have no idea what the market's going to do. I just trade my system. So if I had to put, again, one thing that I have been talking about for a while, that again, I'm not taking any trades off of, but it is just something to point out. We did have the 1355 exponential weekly crossover, which for me is confirmation of a bull market, right? Now, another thing that we do have to keep in mind is that this is really just the first strong bullish rally out of consolidation. So we really haven't seen a pronounced pullback yet. We haven't seen the sellers take control, which always happens at some point during a bullish trend or a bullish market. So although I do believe that we are in a significantly different market structure, I do believe that we are in the beginnings of the next bull market. A pullback down to the weekly 1355 moving average cross to retest that area as support is often what happens. That's exactly what happened the last time that we broke out of consolidation after the last bear market. The 1355 weekly moving average crossover confirmed it, and then price pulled back about 25% to retest the breakout zone. So if that happened now, price would have to pull back a minimum of 25%, potentially a maximum of 33% to hold those supports. So nothing like that would surprise me. And honestly, we're not going to be in too bad of a position to catch the short if and when it does happen, because we are only about 5%, 4.5%, about 5% above our daily baseline. And remember, we are allowed to short as soon as price goes below our daily baseline. That's not when we short. We have to get a signal to short, but that is one of the first qualifications that needs to be cleared if we are trading below the daily baseline. So until that happens, my shorting shoes are up on the table and I've got the moon boots on. But when price goes below the daily baseline, moon boots go off and shorting shoes go on. My daily baseline is sitting at 8208.30 on Bitstamp. Yep. Binance margin trading, yep, is on the DEX. They don't have a lot of pairs yet. And I've also had this issue with it as well, where it'll pop up for a brief second and then disappear. So let me try turning my shields down. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's bright. There we go. Yep, had the shields up. So yeah, here we go. Leverage trading, to the best of my understanding, on Binance DEX. On Binance DEX. So this is something I really haven't played around with too much. To the best of my understanding, they only have the BNB pairs right now. Yeah, they only have the BNB pairs right now. So you can't do any BTC pairs because, of course, this is running on the BNB chain. But I don't actually know if you can go short on this yet. This is what people were telling me. I don't know. I cannot attest to the validity of this. Oh my god. But yeah, Binance.org. Jonathan Fulcher says, might be a long coming up on the daily for Bitcoin Cash. Let's go check. We always want to look at the underlying first, right? We always want to look at the underlying and see what the underlying is doing. The underlying is not there quite yet. I doubt on the close of the daily. BCHM19. BCHM19 might give the signal. I typically, this is kind of a tricky thing where there's a little nuance. I always like to let the underlying give me the signal, because if the underlying is giving the signal, there's often much more gas in the tank for the futures contract to run. Futures contracts do vary in wicks, not our overall price direction, not overall trend. How do you trade a BART pattern? Very carefully. I don't. Can I check out Aurora? Shitcoin looks hella manipulated. Crypto daddies. Yeah, sure. AOA. Don't see it. We got to go over to Coin Paprika. AOA. Coin Paprika. Let's take Chaikin money flow off. And I want to put on here MFI. Let's see what's going on with Aurora Coin. Well, it seems like it's given us some good trades. Let's take a gander here. Didn't really have a good trade here. All you could have taken was the close above the baseline when price goes bullish. So you would have gotten a good trade here. And you can't short this, so we'll only worry about longs. Let's see here. We could have taken this trade here. Would have caught all that. That's a pretty good trade. See what happens around here. No, this wouldn't have given us a good trade here. About over here. Yeah, we get to get in the trade here. Out here, and then we get to get back in here. Out here, in here, a couple, and then we catch that. Yeah, so that's all right. We got two break evens there, and 2 profits, and then a good profit. Coming over here. Yeah, we get in right here with MFI. KST gets us in here. But the line cross does get us in here, but there's drawdown. But yeah, we catch all this with Aurora. That's fine. Yeah, there's nothing weird about this, man. I mean, it's just a crypto chart. Actually got the signal to go long. Again, this is not my system, but this is just kind of what I use, for example, on Coin Paprika. Here, but yeah, it is what it is. That was not a good one. That was a loss. Andrew says, hey, Justin, with Quadriga, do you alter your take profit trading on the daily if price is dropping and therefore take profits have lowered since your entry? No. I set my take profits on the candle that generated the signal. Steve C, so that's kind of in practice, what I generally do is there are going to be times when I move from Bitcoin into Tether. Generally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the next signal to do that transfer of funds back into BTC. Because there is a practical element where if I just got a cross under, for example, so if there was a reason I exited a trade in USDT, I go look at the Bitcoin chart, and if I'm in an active position, then I'll typically move in. If I'm not in an active position, I'll generally wait for the next signal. Because if I'm in an active position, then that means my money in my system is telling me the price is going to go long, which means I'm going to be missing out on potential if I just keep that money in fiat. But if I'm not in an active position and I'm just 1x long on my holdings and I'm sitting in Tether from a profitable Tether trade, I will generally always wait to get the next signal to go long before moving back into Bitcoin. Crypto Meister, good to see you, brother. Below 6K is going to pucker a lot of people up. Sincere says, I have only BTC on my Binance account. How do I trade USDT pairs? Do I have to sell some of my BTC first? Yes. M. Shamartin, can I check link? Bitcoin, I want to know what you think about it. Sure, let's take a gander. Still looks bad, man. Yeah, looked bad yesterday. It's looked bad every single day that I've looked at it, except for when I looked at it here. That's when it looked good. See the crossover above the 0 line, and price is bueno. But this is bad. Consolidating around the 0 line, nothing to do, no strong trend, very low volume and momentum. No bad, no bueno. Nothing to do, brother. Is my baseline an EMA, an SMA, or something else? Is it an exponential moving average? Eric asks, are my moon boots anything like the moon shoes from the 80s? They're way cooler, bro. Hookafish says, I swear the pain of trying to bank online or over the phone. If Bitcoin doesn't make sense to someone, have them do an external account link of to. Yeah, I feel you, man. Can I check play BTC? Yeah, sure, man. I think I have to go to. Oh, cool. Bitrix? No bueno, man. Below the baseline, time transformation is below the 0 line. There's nothing to do, man. This has been a pretty strong downtrend, and now just moving in consolidation. There's nothing to do. We got some good momentum here, some good volume, but yeah, there's nothing to do, man. This has got to do something. No problem, Crypto Daddies. Callum, W757. Are you my dad? No. Normally, if I were feeling cheeky, I'd say for 50 bucks, but not really feeling in a dad mood, except for my own chillin'. This morning, all long and short squeezes, remember that? Thank you, sir. Thank you for reminding me. Good time to buy Dash. Thanks, man. James SC. What's going on? James from South Carolina. James. All right. Dash, Bitcoin. Good time to buy Dash. Could be. Volume's picking up a little bit. Creeping up above the baseline. Right at the baseline right now. Not getting any signal to do anything. But TT is curling its way up toward the zero line. This might be good in a day or two. Nothing right now. What's my opinion on XMR? So XMR USDT, I took the trade. 50% at take profit 1. Price pulled back and hit my break even stop loss. So nothing to do right now. Let's go look at Monero. Nothing to do Monero right now. Below the zero line, below the baseline after an attempt to pop up. Good momentum, decent volume. But nothing to do right now, man. Monero USDT, I'm waiting for a continuation cross. Which, if price crosses under, then I'd be excited because that means it can cross back up. But anyways, here's where I took the trade on Monero right here. Went up, hit take profit 1 right here, as you can see, and then pulled back down and hit my entry on this wick to the downside. So just waiting for a continuation, but nothing to do right now on either pair. Eric says, I know your system may not include hedging strategies, but is there an asset that acts as a good hedge against Bitcoin on BitMEX? The only answer is XRP, but XRP has been so gosh darn bearish lately that it doesn't really work that way. There are times where they are counter-related and times when they are inversely related. So it's just nothing that you can really do anything with, to be honest with you. I mean, if you want to hedge against BTC, you need to have funds in a non-volatile. You need to have funds in a less volatile asset. You know, you need to look at regular, potentially forex pairs, or which is not really an investment or a holding. Again, I assume that your question is coming from like holding BTC. So traditional assets would be good. Like lately, it's been really, again, we do our traditional market scan and short Dow, short the NQ, short the SPX from pretty much the beginning of their downtrend. So there's not really a good answer to that. Not if you want to stay within cryptocurrency, no, and not on BitMEX, no. You can go over to Deribit and get options to hedge your position. That's the only best way to do it. The up-down contracts on BitMEX are a joke. Can I talk about Litecoin? And CryptoMeister wants me to take a look at Raven on the daily. Gotcha, brother. Look at Raven real quick first. No. No, we're too far away from the zero line. This is going to take another day or two to look good, brother. LTC. LTC BTC is going to be exiting us out. I'm actually in LTC BTC and LTC M19. So if the daily closes like this, I will be out of my position at a slight profit or break even. Depending on how nasty this gets, maybe even a small loss. What do I think the SEC will say tomorrow? Don't know. Probably nothing bueno. What is my ideas on one? One, oh, one. The only thing is one. I think that if you got into Harmony at the IEO, then you're probably happy. If you sold right afterwards. Oh, and it just all went red like that. Oh. Fifth Ronin says, your time is so valuable for all of us, and therefore I will suggest an option which will save you a mouse click on TradingView. When you search for a crypto, start typing right away without clicking the search bar. Well, you just saved my life, sir. Is it a good time to buy LTC? No, it's not. It's a good time to exit your LTC position. Banks knew they had us when they started charging 25 to 30 per bounce check. Yeah, for sure. BTC dumps and DGD pumps. There's got to be something with this coin and BTC. This has happened several times. So I actually did this side by side, Ed McCracken, and it's not really anything that you can trade. Yeah, it's only happened like a couple times. This did happen the last time that that BTC dumped, but it never ever happened before that. Not in any way that was reliable. James SC, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube, and you are welcome, CryptoMeister. Crypto Da Vinci, good to see you, brother. Check it out on Minx. Let's go over to Minx. Check that bad mamma jamma out. Holly, ETC. Praying my own self here. Polly looks really good, man. On the daily, we need to get some. Yeah, this is going to be a good signal on the close of the day, man. Diamonds. Good catch, Da Vinci. Minx is giving the long signal. Wada Atar is above the explosion level, and price is looking like it wants to close above the baseline. So we'll see how this looks on the daily close, but good eye. Bitcoin dominance, yeah. Invalid symbol, huh? That's weird. There we go. That worked. So Bitcoin dominance is now bearish. It gave us the sell signal on Bitcoin dominance right here, meaning traditionally alts will do well, and Bitcoin will stay sideways, or Bitcoin will move down and alts will perform poorly. It's typically how you would interpret that as a leading indicator. It's not anything that I directly trade off of, but that is the proper way, in my opinion, to interpret the sentiment of Bitcoin dominance. But Bitcoin dominance dropping. We need to correlate that with things like USTD dominance. Oh, actually, you know. Which, interestingly enough, USTT dominance is bearish as well. Meaning that the market cap of cryptocurrency, percentage-wise, is moving into altcoins. Much love, Eric. Thank you, brother. Bob says, took a reversal trade for the first time in 3 weeks. Felt weird to not listen to the big boss. Was stressed like your system, man. I'm glad. I think it worked out for you, man, if you're talking about ETH. Da Vinci says, Ada looks great too. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yep, Cardano looks really good. We got to be really careful here. If we close below the baseline, then that will be an early invalidation. So I would definitely wait on ADA to see how this day turns. Just like this one, the last long signal we got on ADA was a loss too. And that's going to happen sometimes, guys. Not any one individual trade that we're ever worried about. It's the system over time. K. Marie King, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. That's why, so moments in time like this, right? When I look up here at my 3 commas and I look over about my BitMEX, like for example, I just had a TRX M19 trade hit my stop loss. Okay, so that's a losing trade. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that 3 of my 10 positions, which were green, are now red. Doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me if all of these trades I have to exit early on and I lose money, because I know that my system generates wealth over time. My system, if I just listen to it, will make money consistently over time. It's not going to be every day that Bitcoin shoots up and fakes out a lot of the market and people sell and panic. It's not going to be every day. There's going to be some days when that happens, and that's going to be a losing day. You win some, you lose some. And actually, overall, today's quite a winning day for me. So not really too concerned about anything. And you can have that mindset, you can have that mentality of trading, you can have that emotional discipline if you just have a good system that you have tested over time and are confident in. And like, well, here, I'll give you guys an example. So here we go. Let's go take a look at currentresults.krakencryptocurrency.com. Of course, anybody can go look at this at any point in time. We post all the results of all of our trades that we take in the premium group live, public for everybody to see. After the trade is closed, you guys cannot see our open trades, of course. But here are our results for this month, as you can see. If you look on here, this is a realistic trading journal, right? There are red and green. Look at week 1. Week 1 was really good, heavily weighted to the winning side, 58.78% P&L. Week 2 started off nasty, dude. Week 2 was a whole bunch of losses, and then we had a good middle of the week, and then continued on good. Couple losses though, and then ended strong. Week 3 was less active than all the other weeks, but good, strong to the upside. And then week 4, you can see that we've been extremely active this last week in May, and started off pretty nasty, and then got significantly good. And then what's nice is that there's actually, I guess I have to do the count, but there are equal or more losers on here than winners. But look at the P&L. Look at, you actually have to calculate how much in capital we actually lose on the losing trades compared to how much we make on the winning trades, right? The reason why is because we have multiple systems that get us out early of a position if it is not profitable. So that is how the system works over time. You diversify your trades, not based on like diversification, but statistical analysis, right? On taking the best profitable setups and exposing yourself to the market, to the coins that are on the right side of the market at the right time. And the only way you can do that is by being in the market every day and doing your daily scan. You don't have to watch the market 24/7, but you got to watch the market once a day at a certain time. And you can catch the good trades. And you kick the losers out, you exit out of them early, and you look for another good one. And you just keep doing that every single day, rinse and repeat. And that's what I do for a living. Dill, Hole, and Brendan, thank you so much for the subscriptions on YouTube, guys. Moving on over back to the live scene on Bitcoin. Coroeos. I never know how to say it, brother. Love you, though. Do we need paid subscriptions on TradingView and 3 commas to utilize the full potential of this strategy? Absolutely not. You can utilize this strategy with an archaic execution system. You can use all my proprietary indicators if you are a member with a free TradingView account. I recommend, having a paid TradingView account, just, because I don't like those ads popping up the bottom of the screen. And honestly, I am an individual that believes that if you are receiving value from a service, you should give back. You should invest in their continued value in the future, right? Same with 3 commas. I don't use an advanced 3 commas account. I just use it for trade execution. I have a starter package. I paid for it a year in advance, so I got the cheaper price, on the $22 a month as opposed to $29 a month. But if you have a low account, just as I was telling a member last night, if you have less than $1,000, you just want to use the top me up feature on 3 commas until you're comfortable and you're actually doing your daily scan. Once you start doing your daily scan and exposing yourself to the market every single day when there's trades, which there often is, or there has been recently, you definitely want that starter account on 3 commas. But you definitely don't need to. It just makes your life easier. It's just going to take you a little bit longer to put all the orders in. Ronbo 710, would I always hold on to at least 1 Bitcoin? No, I wouldn't. When is a good time to buy LTC? When we get a signal to go long. What is my thoughts on buying this pullback with BTC? So I only buy pullbacks in specific situations. If I've gotten a signal to go long and we are above 1 ATR price and price pulls back in the next 24 hours, there's a little bit more nuance to it than that I haven't gone into in depth. And we went over it not last night, but Monday night, in the VIP session that's usually on Sunday night. But as far as pullbacks go, that's the only more nuanced aspect of PTP. That's about as complicated as it gets moving forward. So if people can make it through that, they'll do quite well moving forward. But I don't care. How do I put this more? There's nothing about a pullback that excites me. I'm a momentum trader, so a pullback is not momentum in the direction that I want to trade. So because I have not gotten a signal yesterday, there's no need for me to look for a pullback. I'll wait for the market to actually finish doing what it's doing now and then continue moving in the direction that I want to trade in. When was now? Before I get into a trade, do I have a volume or cap minimum on alts that I recommend? Nope, I trade everything. Would buying this dip be a good decision or wait? I will not be buying this dip in any way, shape, or form in any fashion. No, I will wait for a signal and then I will take a trade. And right now there is no signal except to, if the daily closes like this, to exit my current long. I already hit my trailing stop loss. Hit my trailing stop loss on the trade that I took on the 24th in good profit. And it hit my trailing stop loss today, just a while ago, on the trade that I took last night at 7 p.m. So anyways, guys, it is 1:03. You guys know what that means. It's time to take a brief break, blah, blah, blah. Brief break, guys. So I'll be right back. When I come back, I'll finish looking at your requests and we will continue on with this wonderful ride, guys. Don't go anywhere. And if you have some coins that you'd like me to look at, ask now or forever hold your peace, or wait 5 minutes to ask me. Christian Woldridge, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. And we'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. What's up, guys? And we're back. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Looking good, man. Looking good. All right. John Dunn, good to see you, Patty. What's going on, brother? Zach Coma asks, if Wada Atar confirms for a long, I know you need volume as well to coincide with that. Do you wait for volume to be above the volume MA before pulling a trigger? No, because if you're using Wada, Wada doubles as a volume indicator in and of itself because it measures the momentum. So there is a direct correlation between volume and momentum. When you have a movement that has momentum but no volume, that's generally not a good signal. If you have a movement that has volume but no momentum, that's not a good signal either. Wada generates, and I've gone back and forth with this on people, but again, backtesting results don't lie. When Wada confirms by the size of its bar above the explosion level, that is a volume indication in and of itself. So I do not use a volume indicator with Wada Atar. Wada Atar actually serves as my volume indicator. Now, you can alternatively use, if you're not using Wada or you don't want to do that, you can use, you want to add an additional volume indicator, which I don't really recommend, but I don't really see a problem with that. You're just adding another qualifier on, which is totally fine. That's part of the secret sauce of Pathways to Profits, is how everything works together in a structure. Then yeah, the regular volume indicator with a 15-period moving average and price and the volume bar closing above that price, above that moving average, is very good as well. Savtej DeLon, Ethereum. I went over Ethereum pretty, I go over Bitcoin and Ethereum at the beginning of every show, but Ethereum is doing nothing except for Ethereum is not even telling you to exit your long position. However, the last signal that you would have gone to go long would have been on the close of this candle. You would have hit your first take profit and you would be stopped out at break even right now for the strategy, but no indication to do anything right now. If you didn't have a stop at break even, it's also not telling you to exit your position. If the close today confirms an exit, would you recommend taking a small position when we hit the daily baseline, or still wait for a signal to get back? And I'm looking at LTC USD. So you can always have buys at the daily baseline, all right? That's tertiary PTP strategy. You don't always want to do that. One's not loading up. Finally loaded here. I don't even know if this is tradable yet. Let's go over to Binance. Yeah, it's not okay. It's not open for trading yet. So this is what? Is this going to go live tonight at 11? That's usually when it happens.
And I just can't be without you, baby. Won't you
4 a.m. UTC on June 1st. It'll list on the DEX. So this is going to launch. It's probably going to drop, and then it's going to go up if it follows the pattern of other IEOs. Or it's going to drop and continue to drop for quite a while. Then it'll consolidate, and then it'll pump up if it follows Matic and Seller and Fetch. $4 a.m. tomorrow, Harmony starts trading. All right, cool. Yep. If you had the IEO, you want to sell immediately. And then wait, and then price will give you a signal. You typically, the way that I've done IEOs is I go down to whatever time frame I can get my baseline on. And then as soon as I can get the baseline on another time frame, I'll switch to that and I'll just start scaling up the time frames. What is the significance, or why is it said to be important, of gaps in CME futures? Because they represent areas where price was weak, where there wasn't a lot of orders in the book. So this represents a liquidity void, and the market often likes to retest areas of liquidity void to double check for strength. So if we go over to our long-term chart, for example, and we look at CME futures, and look for big price gaps right here like this one, generally the market does like to fill these back in. But again, it's one of those things that a lot of people incorporate as like so fundamental to their strategy. You know, every time there's a gap on CME futures, you're going to get somebody on YouTube that's like, oh, we're going down tomorrow to fill that. There are times when price doesn't fill the gap. And the times when price does fill the gap. Now CME futures are actually pretty consistent, I would say, overall at filling those gaps relatively quickly. Here's a gap and price pretty much quickly pulls back down to fill that gap. Not all the way though, and it doesn't always fill it all the way. So again, filling gaps are also reversal trades, and that's not how we trade things around here. We trade based off the higher time frames and signal generation. So there's really nothing to do. There's really nothing to say as so far as that. CME futures are also not curling under, not giving you an opportunity, not giving you a reason to exit. And we would have gotten into this trade here, caught the gap to the upside, and most likely hit more take profits on the way, as we did on the BitMEX chart as well. But that's why it's significant. Liquidity voids represent areas of the market where price wants to pull back to and test for strength, the way that traditionally taught and the way that generally works in principle. GBDC, buy signal right here, and good trade. Not out of your position yet, and no cross under yet on GBDC either. But price is pinching, so. What's going on, Clark or Krypton? Good to see you, brother. Ankit asks, is all of my crypto on exchanges? No, it's not all on exchange. I do have cold storage. But I would say that all my trading capital is on exchanges, yes. I'm not seeing that B-Chain Myra anywhere here, brother. All right. What do I think the next grayscale crypto name will be? I don't know. GETH? Considering this is just a bullish trend, when will it be considered an official bull market once we break 20K? I believe that we're in a bull market, or at least the early stages of a bull market, because we had the weekly 1355 exponential moving average crossover, and that's exactly what I was looking at in the last cycle. But as I said earlier in the stream, we haven't had a significant pullback to that level yet, which is what we saw last time as well. Price went up for 4 weeks after the moving average crossover and then had a significant pullback to retest the area of breakout. That would be about a 30%. Pullback. Eric Dobkin says, how much working capital would I need to earn about 1 Bitcoin per month on PTP? Well, so I always tell people that if you are earning 3 to 5% a month, you are outperforming of your capital. You are outperforming the mass majority of professional investors out there, right? And that's possible in cryptocurrency with the right strategy. That's generally fairly indicative of how I perform. There are months that are greater than that, significantly greater than that. There are months that are worse than that. So doing the calculations on that, assume the lower end of the spectrum. So let's say you're making 36% here. Take lower end of the spectrum and say you're having an average year. Let's go to I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I'm not math is not my strong suit. Let me think about that while I find some music. I don't really know how to do the math on this, man. I'll be honest with you. You need what number? What is 36? 12 Bitcoin is 36% of what number? $33. Give or take. 33 Bitcoin. Make 12 Bitcoin a year. At the lowest baseline. Took me a while to figure out. George Enigma and Damon Witt, thank you so much for the follows, or for the subscriptions on YouTube. And my name is IPO. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Justin, what membership do I have for Tensor to watch that information about liquidations? Good to see you, Sashko. This is actually available default. All you got to do is go into BitMEX stats in the Tensor charts informational window, and you can see the 1 minute charts. If you buy their most basic plan, which I usually have, but I haven't upgraded in a while, it's been like a month since I last upgraded, then you can actually see all the higher time frames. Thanks, Cryptomeister. Helping me out with the math. Can I review EOS? No, that's not what I do, brother. If the daily closes like this below the 8850 region, is it a strong sign that the local top is in? No, not necessarily. Not whatsoever. BTC mining profitability versus price. That's looking pretty good. Wonder if we could use this as a leading indicator. Or if you want to counter reverse it. So mining profitability versus price. If the quote pair is price, means that mining is more profitable than price. Good. So you could use this as a leading indicator. You could use this as a leading indicator to know when to turn your miners on and off. Be pretty interesting. Yeah, I basically told you to start mining at 25th of March 2019, and you would have gone. Every gap filled. Yep, there's a gap. There's a gap. Yeah, Bitcoin's pretty good at filling gaps, except for this one. Filled this one. It did fill this one. It took a while, but then it didn't continue going back up. It filled it on the way back down, which is not really what you want to see. Filled this gap. Never filled this gap. We shall see, brother. Back that up to the weekly, you'll see it is called the bottoms over the last 10 years. So the miners, what you're saying is, I guess the analysis from this is that the miners start cranking up their machines slightly before the bottom. And they start cranking down their machines a little bit before the top. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, because here they started cranking up. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm going to save that chart. Just Mirev. Okay, just Mirev on Quandle. Okay, cool. Mark that. Oh, it's blah, right? Blah. Nope, nothing's changed, bro. Another thing that I want to talk about with PTP is this, man. Those are the numbers that I like to give people. And I don't want anybody to expect anything greater than that. But the reality of the situation is that I've outperformed the market every year since I've been trading cryptocurrency full time since 2016. And every year I've outperformed Bitcoin. And that's what you're shooting for. You have to have alpha, otherwise you don't have a good trading strategy. So, like for example, that PHP trade that we took the other day added 6% to my total capital on one trade in one day. The trade took like 4 days, but I digress. So good things happen in cryptocurrency, and that's why there is a lot of amazing opportunities for people in this space, but they need to go about it the right way. Caribbean Crypto says thumbs up for EOS. Yeah, we already took a great EOS trade the other day, guys. I'll show you guys where we took EOS. Right here on this candle. Took EOS right here, caught all of this, and this hit all our profit targets. So there's nothing to do with EOS right now. Took EOS M19 too. That's a full risk trade. Long spot, long futures. Trade right here. Boom. Good time to get into BTT. Musa Mukhtar. That is a very astute observation. No, it is not a good time to get into BTT. Yesterday was an exit signal on the long that you would have taken here. So BTT would have been a long right here, and I'm assuming this is a very profitable trade because it runs up 60%. And this is on yesterday's close was your signal to exit the market. So in fact, quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. Your daily stand gives you like 20 good signals. How many trades are you making? I want to filter those out for the best ones, but I'll take as many as I possibly can. Gregarious and Halo Pinoy, thank you so much for the subscriptions on YouTube, my good friend. Any chance is the dump related to the SEC? It could be, but it doesn't matter. Again, that's something that I really want you guys to get away from. You know, whether candles, whether big dump candles, or whether big movement candles are reactions to news, like doesn't matter, man. Doesn't matter. Doesn't affect the way that we do things in the slightest. What do I think about BAT? Not really moving in the last month. Let's check. It hasn't come up on our daily scan for quite a while. Yeah, this is just not good to hold, man. Now we hold BAT because we're a Brave verified publisher. So people give us BAT donations, so we do hold BAT. I like BAT. I support what they're doing. But other than that, BCH, we looked at BCH earlier. It's not confirming anything. Yeah, there's no trade to take. We're lagging behind a little bit. So it's going to take another day or two before we can go long on BCH. Nothing wrong with talking about play BTC, bro. You can talk about it all you want. But there's nothing to... I'm only interested in the chart, man. That's what I do for a living. I'm just a trader. So if there's no trade to take, I mean, really nothing to talk about. No trade to take, brother. You're free to talk about it all you want, man. Thoughts on Zilliqua? Thoughts on Zilliqua, Blaze, and OMG? Nothing to do on Zilliqua. Yep, nothing to do on Zilliqua. Bluezell. Nothing to do on Bluezell. OMG. OMG will be a long if the daily closes like this. Yeah, OMG will be a long if the daily closes like this. OMG looks like a pretty good chart, actually. Christian Woldridge, I've been trading cryptocurrency full-time since 2016. We also looked at Raven. It is not ready. We are well below the zero line on TT, so no trade to be taken. Maybe in a day or two. All right, let's see here. I want to go back and look at that rev chart. Sorry, when I find something that interests me, I tend to kind of focus on it for a little bit. When Bitstamp was listed on the exchange, good. Crossing in the baseline. Okay, trading here. Here. That is past it. Yeah, the chart would have gotten us into the trade to the upside every single time. What did you mean, brother, when you say it calls the bottoms? Because usually when people say that, they say, you know, this calls the bottoms because it bottoms before price does. But the thing is, you don't know when something is bottoming in real time. You only know that in hindsight. Because when you try to make that determination in real time, you are predicting the future. Right. The problem with that is that that's only useful in hindsight. Because you never know in the moment when something is bottoming. That's predictive. What do I think cryptos people will mostly buy in Austria? I don't know. Probably the big ones, man. Gotcha. Yeah, I'd like to take a look at that chart. Crypto Bubbles, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for the 5, my good friend. Says, really like your professional streams. Also got a spike in traffic after you last used my website. Well, thank you very much. I really enjoy your Bubbles website. This is really neat. This is very neat for me to look at. And this is commonly something that I look at every single day. So I really like what you've done here. Good looking out. You said you got some new options too, huh? This is how I've always looked at it, and I like how you can look at it in dominance. Pretty neat. Yeah, this is all pretty neat. Bubble size by volume. Bubble size by market cap. Big increase in the supply of BTT. This is cryptobubbles.net. I'll drop the link in the chat. Cryptomeister says he put the link in the in general chat like months ago. Sorry, man. GBT potential trade at the end of the daily close. Take a gander. No. It's cool, Meister. Thank you, brother. It's all good. Well, normally we have a lot to talk about. Give you guys a little bit of an update on what I'm working on. I think today, it's not what I think. What I'm working on today is the next lesson in Module 2 of Pathways to Profit. It's going to be about back testing indicators and how to back test indicators. I have a spreadsheet that is going to be available for individuals to use for their tracking purposes, which is going to allow them to actually rank by performance the best indicators and actually lay out how to test those indicators. And then the additional modules, I mean, the modules preceding are telling you exactly what types of indicators you need, and then it shows you exactly how to put those indicators together to make a PTP system, just like what I have here. Because this is 7 indicators working in conjunction. Look at BTC2. Never heard of it, so I'm assuming I'm going to have to go over here to Coin Paprika. Interesting. Something that's listed, massively pumps, and then massively dumps. Womp womp. Let's see here. Well, you would have taken this trade right here on this candle and caught pretty much all of that. Yeah, that was a good one. And there's really nothing to do right now. Volume's really low. Volume's dropping off, so there's nothing to do. Let this consolidate a little bit more. Bflow says, I had a long on Bitcoin from yesterday afternoon 6-hour chart, exchanged and execute my take profit, won the day. Now back around the break-even-ish. Is it time to exit the position? 4x time frame has passed. Well, what we want to take precedence over that is, yes, that is one thing to keep in mind, but the other thing that we want to take precedence on. Yeah, I heard you say that earlier in the chat, bro. I'm so sorry that your limit order didn't get filled. You need to get yourself over to ByBit. Limit order's filled, man. Yeah, you do, because when the 6-hour candle closes, it didn't close here, so you would technically be preempting the system. We are above the baseline on the 6-hour chart, but you haven't gotten an early exit signal yet, but it is foreshadowing that you will. So you really do have to wait until the close of the daily candle to find out for sure. So you really have two options. You really have two options on the table. When you go into the 4-hour, time frame times 4 is not a base part of PTP. That's just a scalping strategy, to be quite honest with you, and something that I've always utilized. But the daily is about to turn under, telling you to be out of any daily long positions, and the 6 hours is about to turn under too. I mean, really, the best thing to do in this scenario is to do nothing and wait for the daily close and see if you need to update your position. But the other way to look at it too is that you hit your take profit 1 and you just didn't get filled, which doesn't have anything to do with PTP, and now you're back at break even. So by all rights, you should be out of the trade. So that's kind of a personal decision. If it were me, I'd exit the trade. Anytime, if I have to think about whether I need to exit a trade for more than 5 seconds, I exit the trade. Now, if your take profit 1 hadn't been hit, then you wouldn't do anything. You would wait till the daily close. Absolutely, no questions asked. But since your take profit 1 already hit but didn't get filled, and you're back at break even, I'd exit the trade. Just like last night, for example. Like last night. HOT BTC. There was a portion of my limit order that didn't fill, and I said, well, should I sell now, or should I? And then I had to think about it for more than 5 seconds and then sell.
Ain't nobody stopping us. We got bills, but no dollars. But now we don't really give up. No, we don't really give up. Living for that ray of light. Life can be beautiful. Life can be beautiful. Going all the way tonight. Making it
Can I back test to see if the first week of the month is different than the others? Because more people get paid on the first of the month? Yeah, I mean, it's quite easy to do. Let's go take a gander. So here's the first month of April, very bullish. And then here's the 1st of May, very bullish. But here's the middle of May, and here's the end of May. And let's try February. 1st of February, very bearish. 1st of January, I mean, just kind of sideways. And then you've got a big pump candle, but then you have a big dump candle right after it, so really nothing. 1st of December, very bearish. 1st of November, bullish relative to the volume that was going on at that time, I guess. 1st of October, sideways. 1st week of September, bearish. Low volume and then a big sell-off. Yeah, so I mean, you could run this back more if you want, but just based off the most recent data, pretty much the last year, I don't see anything special about it. It seems that we've been really bearish at the beginning of the months when price was already really bearish throughout the entire month, so not really something that I'd look at too much, brother. Yes, Minx will work with Forex. I've backtested Minx. So whenever I create a new indicator, I backtest to see if it works on other asset classes. So I backtest minks on, well, I trade on a Wanda. So I backtest minks on gold. I backtested on palladium. I backtested on the euro dollar. I backtested on the pound dollar. I backtested on the euro pound. I backtested on the Aussie Swissy. And I also backtested on the Aussie CAD. So I did those, and then I also backtested against the S&P 500, the NQ, and the Dow, as well as Apple, and come on, and crude. Sorry, and crude. So yeah, it works very, very well across all asset classes. How many years have I been trading for? Was I in profit from the start, says Mufad? No, absolutely not. When I first began trading, I started trading with $5,000 and lost it very quickly. Didn't know what I was doing. And that's because I listened to all the educational content and I listened to the advice of everything that I find is out there still currently. Trade reversals, predict the market, use Fibonacci retracements, use the stochastic for reversals, use the RSI for reversals, use Bollinger Bands for reversals, use pivot points, trend lines, draw triangles and cups and handles and all that nonsense. And then I worked my butt off, honestly, for a year and saved up 30 grand. And I went back into the market, back to trading E-mini futures and lost that too. And so that sucked because I don't come from wealth. That was a year of savings just blown out. And so I took a back seat and realized that if I'm doing what everybody else seems to be doing and I'm still losing money, then it seems that I'm just gonna have to figure this out on my own. And I realized that, well, it's pretty convoluted to explain to you how the path I came down to. Long story short, I found a mentor and really restructured the way that my brain works as far as trading and discipline and psychology and mentality and everything. I mean, really changed my life. And through that, becoming profitable in trading, moving from equity, moving into Forex, was still trading price action, but using momentum, right? And then as I was trading Forex, I developed what would eventually become BTP, which is purely indicators-based trading. And when I realized all the benefits of that, and then moving to the higher time frames as well, when I realized all the benefits of that, just something that's difficult to walk back to. When you know that you can put your entire system in a methodological, systemic, fully comprehensive system that and because you've back-tested it and you trust it, it works. You've tested it in real time and it works. It's very difficult to go back to some style of trading that is nothing but anticipation or fear or uncertainty or self-doubt or anything like that, which so much of trading is for most people. For me, it's not. And for everybody not for everybody, I don't want to speak for everybody, but for a lot of people that are in my class, that are students of ours, they say the exact same thing. They've never felt more confident, more composed, more disciplined in taking their trade setups. That's exactly what it needs to be. Trading should be pleasant and verifiable, not what's gonna happen next. And that's how most people trade, and it's a shame. That's how you lose money. What's going on, Alex? Coming over on Facebook. Yeah, buddy. Catching us on your lunch break. What's going on? B-Flow says, by the way, the Minx works. Super excited moving forward. Yeah, Minx is nice. It's got one of the highest profitability. It's got one of the highest hit rates of all of the indicators that I've tested. Seven, Mufad. Let's see what happens. Let's wrap up, guys. But before we wrap up, let's go down through the charts. Let's go to BitMEX and let's go to let's do Bitcoin and let's do Ethereum and see if anything's changed on the LTF since we've been doing the show for 2 hours. 12-hour chart. having again, I only do the daily baseline for buying pullbacks, and we are about 5% above that, so nothing to do. 12-hour chart, nothing to do. It's signaled to exit your long position here. After signaling the original long position here, that was probably a loss. Price coming back down to the 0 line on the 12-hour chart. Really nothing to do here. Nothing turning, nothing curling. 8-hour time frame was the trade that I took. You can see that it generated the signal on this candle last night at the daily close. I took that trade to the upside, hit my first take profit, actually hit 2 of my take profits, and I'm now out. My trailing stop loss hit. So nothing to do on the 8-hour. If we look closely, actually we are crossing under, so that would be confirmation to exit my position were I still in it and didn't utilize my my stop loss. Let's see here. 6-hour chart would have gotten you in here, and you would have done very nicely on the 6-hour chart, but you are definitely out. We are crossing under and confirming the exiting of a long position now. 4 hours crossing under as well, telling you to be out of a position, and the 3-hour has crossed under and verified. Hourly crossed over at 11 o'clock this morning, so 3 hours ago. So nothing to do there. Going down to the LTFs, let's look on the 30-minute chart. Nothing to do below the baseline. We would have been able to take a short right here. That would have probably been a good trade, but we don't counter trade the daily trend, so nothing to do there. We could have taken this short on the 15-minute. I mean, not we could have, but it did signal one, but we can't take it because that is converse to the daily time frame. We're actually going to be getting a long signal here on the 15-minute chart, maybe in the next half hour. So we're below the baseline, but TT is approaching that 0 line with conviction. Volume is not there yet, so nothing to really do, honestly. Let's go down to the degen time frames. And the 5-minute chart is giving you a signal to go long right now. Giving you a signal to go long right now with profit targets of 86.70, 8,700, and 87.30. So best of luck to you guys. Nothing that I'm going to take. Wait patiently for the daily close. And I don't expect to be taking a Bitcoin trade for probably a couple days now, at least until the indicators reset. And that's good. But the cross under to the cross to the downside does get me excited, because that means in the near future we have the potential to cross back up, and I'll be looking for another long trade. Ethereum USD on BitMEX is not actually crossing to the downside, so not telling you to be out of your long position that you would have been in on here, right? But you've already hit take profit 1 and out at break even per our strategy, so there's really nothing to do now. Volume is drying up as well and keeping out of this. So no signal on the daily. The 12-hour did give you the exit signal here. Actually, it's going to give you the exit. Gave you the exit signal on this candle right here, actually. So nothing to do on the 12-hour. Above the baseline. 8 hours crossing under. 6-hour crossed under on the last close. No trade to take. Watch the 6-hour for a potential cross back up, but that's probably going to take another 12 hours, so just defer to the daily. 4 hours crossed under. 3-hour already crossed under. Nothing to do. Looking for continuation crosses. That's what I'm looking for. Nothing on the hourly. Nothing on the 30-minute or the 15-minute. The 15-minute is TT's giving you a signal, but we're below the baseline, so that's nothing that you can take. And the 5-minute time frame actually told you to go long here, and that was a loss. And now you can't do anything except, oh, actually, we just got a fresh continuation signal. So if you're ignoring the close below the baseline rule, you could take this trade. I don't. I've back tested it and found that those don't work out more often than they do, but sometimes it can be a good trade. So 5-minute would be potentially giving you a long as well, with TPs of 272, 273, and 275. There's a little bit of nuance in there because it's 272.46, 273.93, and 275.39. So trade safely, guys. Again, not trades I'm going to take, but DYOR, do your own trading, have your own system, have your own strategy. And if you don't know how to build one yet, hit us up in the Discord. That's what we do. We do job training. We teach professional traders. All right, guys. With that being said, switch on over here. So thank you so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I have been your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure that you trade safely. Make sure that you are doing your own research and putting the time and the grind into using your indicators. For the guys in the group, just make sure you use the rules, make sure you use the tools and follow the rules, and everything will work out diamonds. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to show us some love by, if you're over there on YouTube, hitting the like button, subscribing, and giving the bell some love. If you're over on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow or a subscription if you like. We highly appreciate the support. Same as well over on DLive. And for those of you watching on Facebook, make sure to give this a thumbs up and share it around to all your friends and family, even people you don't like. This information is important to get in front of people. If you guys would like access to the services that we provide, our proprietary indicators, our personal mentoring, our private Discord community, our signals and setups, our Pathways to Profit course, as well as all our educational content, you can of course check the link at the top of the screen, premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. Link is also in the description down below. Make sure if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, leave them in the comments section down below at the end of the video. It takes a few minutes for it to process, but then you can leave them. All right, guys, make sure until tomorrow that you trade safely, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.